Yo, what is up, broskies? Keanu, one half of Broski Gamers, coming at you with a Despia, a pure Despia actually, OTK deck. I've done this on the channel before, but I've recently revisited. I was playing Despia Dogmatica Shadal, but I guess for fear of the ban list, I've pivoted back into this. I like the way this plays a little bit more because you can go second and then you can always side in to go first, because this deck can also go first pretty easily. You know, you just side out, go in second cards, you know. It's had some pretty good matchups. I've done pretty well with this, and I'll explain some of my reasoning for some of the card choices in here. So I will get into it. For the main deck, 2 Dramaturge of Despia. This is Disruption. He's your negate. When something from the extra deck summon, he can negate it. You can target one effect monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of its turn. That's when one of the cards are summoned. So it's pretty good. Also, when you use him as a fusion material from the hand or field, he just special summons himself back. A lot of times you can go the Queritus, fusion summon into the Queritus, Chainlink 1, Queritus, Chainlink 2. Chainlink 1, Dramaturge, Chainlink 2, Queritus. So the Queritus will blank everything on the field, and then Dramaturge will special himself as 3k beater, and that's usually at least 5,500 damage. This deck is like super easy. OTKs with like ease. 3 Luber. This card's definitely going up in price since its release. Well, at release it was super high, and then I think the lowest it reached was like $30 a copy. It'll probably go down because I feel like something in that Shadal engine or something in the I think Schism could get hit possibly. I also think some of the Dogmatica engine wouldn't hurt as bad, but Schism, you probably wouldn't play the deck as much. The Shadal Invoked Despia, you can still play like not Shadal Invoked, you can still play Dogmatica Despia. I mean, I think it still has some synergies there, but yeah, you just have to see. It'll probably definitely come back down in price. This is like the second best one, Despia Tragedy. If it's into the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you can add one Despia monster. Pretty crazy. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one branded spell and set it to your field. So pretty nutso. 2 Despian Comedy. I don't see anybody play this anymore, but this comes up a lot of times. You can you summon a Luber. They might have a Veiler, especially my locals like Imperm. Everybody's main decking Imperm, so you go Luber, they Imperm, Comedy. Also, Comedy is just another Despia name, so it's easy to super poly their board off with, or it's easy to just go into over your extra deck cards. 2's good, 3's like too much. You only want to see like 1 in your hand. You're never searching it though. 2 Albion, the Shrine of Dragons. This card's pretty crazy. It either special summons itself as a big ass beater, level 8 beater, and I left like 2 flex spots open in the extra deck. I'll explain that when we get there. But it give you like a level 8 2500 beater, or you can pitch the Fallen of Abbas from your deck, set up graveyard play with some of your branded spell cards. So he's like kind of like I don't want to say he's a better version of Fallen of Abbas, but he's his effects are more likely to like go through. I guess I guess it provides like a little more setup, and just one Fallen of Abbas it kind of sucks because well, it doesn't suck. It's pretty nuts actually. It's super poly on legs. You try to discard one, you can fusion summon off. It's non-targeting. It's pretty crazy, and one of the spells lets you use it like in the graveyard too, so it's pretty cool. So now for the hand traps, Triple Nibiru. No one at my locals knows how to play around this card. They don't care to play around this card. Also, if this card ends up being dead in your hand, you can use it to go into any one of your monsters in your extra deck. pretty easily because it's a light. All these cards kind of need a light target. It's a really good card. Ash, best generic hand trap. Usually in this format, it's like 2 hand traps. They're not going to be able to like full combo. So Ash is pretty good. It's pretty versatile. If you don't have access to Ash, you could. I think Ghost Bell is good right now. I'm not sure. I think everybody has Ash at this point. I don't run Imperm. I think I was running Imperm before. I run Effect Veiler. So some situations, Veiler is way better, especially with it being light in this deck. Pretty crazy. At my locals, they play a lot of decks like that are normal summon reliant. Like there's a bunch of Cyber Dragon players, a bunch of hero players. Veiler's pretty good. Veiler Ash is like really good, you know, stuff to open. Kaiju's, like I said, at my locals, like a lot of shit's like Dragoon Turbo, and then DPE's like everywhere. So I run like a pretty nice suite of Kaiju's, Gamacil, Godarla, Radiant, and Yugioh. Did I say that? Yeah. So Radiant's pretty crazy because it's dark. You can always fall in of a Baz, like Super Poly at Godarla's pretty crazy just for the Wind Barrier statue. There is a few Dino players. Gamacil because it's weak. Yugioh. Even Gamacil like has synergy with some of the extra deck cards, even though it's a water attribute. I did cut the if you were here before, I did cut the Slumbers because I don't know, it just wasn't that great. But you can slide those in, definitely. 3 branded open, and this card's just crazy. Discard 1 and take 1 Despia monster from your deck. Either add to your hand or summon it. This plus strategy is just silly. It's just a silly, like, silly advantage because if you just have this in tragedy and it goes through, you just pitch this, pitch tragedy. This can add your Aluber, tragedy can add your Dramaturge, and then you go from there. I was running the Gamma package, but no one owns Ash, which is kind of hilarious. I've never been Ashed at my locals personally, so I just cut it because I found myself siding it out a lot too. Or if they don't have Ash, like if they do have Ash, people just play around Gamma a lot now because Gamma's just a crazy advantage. 2 of the Field Spell. I was running like 1 in a Terraforming, and then I was running like 2 in a Terraforming, but Terraforming is dead. Like if you've already been through your spell, like the Field Spells, and the Field Spells are just so highly accessible. Like Aluber I mean, it's so easy to get the Field Spell. I don't think I need Terraforming. So a lot of times when I have it, like it's kind of a dead card. That's one thing you don't want, especially in this format, just drawing like a bunch of dead cards. Quick way to lose. Brandon White, this is your this fusion summons from the grave. So fusion 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your field or hand or field as material, including a dragon monster. You can also banish monster from your graveyard as material. If you use Fallen Abows as a fusion material from your hand, field, or by banishing from the grave during the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen Abows, you can set it. So pretty nice. You usually want to search this. You don't want to open it up. This is more like turn 2, 3. So like I said, you're usually trying to end it like on the 2nd turn, well, your 1st turn. Triple Tactics Talent. This card's insane because I don't know, like ash me if you want, like Dragoon negate. Okay, I'll just take your Dragoon, pop your board, OTK with your own card. I did that a couple times. I played against I used like my branded, which this was probably bad managing for them, but I think I summoned the Luber. They negated the effect of the Luber with their Infinity. Then I branded opening. They negated the effect with the Dragoon, and then I triple tactics their Dragoon, popped their board, and then attacked them directly. I think I super polyed into something too during the battle phase. So this card's pretty crazy. If you can't afford it, you can always add more hand traps. You could do something like Imperm. I know that's pretty accessible right now. You could do Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is pretty crazy in this deck because Allure of Darkness and Tragedy is like crazy advantage also. 3 super polys. I see some people playing 1, some people playing 2. 3 is just kind of crazy because there's just so many targets, so many options you can run the extra deck. Last 2, I'm gonna definitely switch these out for twin twisters. So if you have twin twisters, you can do that also, or you can just run like feather duster, I don't know, Raigeki. You can run anything you want. The biggest problem with this deck is like back row decks. Like monsters aren't that like they aren't that problematic. Like, so I don't know, this card's just always bad because people know how to play around it. Also, there's been times like I just have Despia Theater face up, like, and I draw this like later game, and then you can't control any cards in your field, so kind of like GG. But sometimes I side out of it, I don't know. But all I'm saying is there's like budget options to it. I'm gonna get into the extra deck. So there's 13 cards. I'll kind of explain what you put in for the last 2. But Despian Proskinion, he's not that great. I know during the main phase, quick vacant turn 1 fusion. Will any card from the extra deck and your opponent's graveyard banish it or special summon it to your field. When this card destroys an opponent's monster battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack and or defense. So it's fine, but really this breaks like Dragoon boards pretty easily, because you can just normal summon a Despia card. If you have like Despia Super Poly against like a Dragoon Infinity or something like that, Dragoon whatever, this takes 1 Despia, 1 light monster, 1 dark monster, so that fulfills the requirements. You just suck up everything for this, and then you keep going with your plays. This is my favorite card. It's not the best one, but Despian Quertus. This blanks your cards' attacks. If it will level 8 or lower, like non-fusion cards, they could get like 0 attack. Also, if this if this card, sorry about that. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can add to your hand or special summon 1 Fallen of the Baz or Despia monster from your deck. So Fallen of the Baz is super accessible in this deck, as you probably can tell already. Masquerade the Blazing Dragon, this is one of the newer ones. It's kind of crazy because it just burns your opponent. When you control this fusion summon card, your opponent must pay 600 life points to activate cards or effects. That's mandatory. So if they don't have life to like activate anything, they just kind of lose. If your opponent, also I was playing on Nexus, and I think the ruling, even if skill drains up, like they still have to pay the cost. If your opponent controls Ritual, Fusion, Synchro Disease, or Link Monster, all this card is in your graveyard. Quick effect, you can special summon this card, banish it when it leaves the field, so it revives itself. That's always like helpful. Titaniclad, this is like this OTKs. It also gets your Fallen of a Baz. It gains attack equal to the combined original levels of the monsters used in its fusion summon times 100. Yeah, so after this card is fusion summoned for the rest of the turn, is unaffected by the activated effects of other monsters special summoned from the extra deck. And then, you know, if it's in the graveyard at the end of the phase, you get a Dogmatica or a Fallen of Baz. Thought about upping that to 3. It's pretty crazy. This one definitely should be ran at 2. I'll be on the Branded Dragon. You fusion summon, then you can fusion summon again from your grave. So pretty crazy. Definitely need 2. This one, I never go into this one, but you can suck up one of their cards because all it takes is a level 8 or higher monster. So you can like, if you Gamma Steal something, Fallen of Baz is still alive. That's like one of those things I was kind of talking about. Cannot be short of a battle. While you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects during the end phase if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there. This turn, you can add to your hand or special summon 1 Tri-Brigade monster or 1 Fallen of Baz. So all these cards get you Fallen of Baz. Double Starving Venom, Mud Dragon of the Swamp, 1 Dragoon. because you can side that in. So I believe it's 13 cards. So what I was going to explain is you can play Dingirsu in the side, well, in the extra, because you run a bunch of level 8s. He's a really good out to stuff. I believe Dingirsu says send 1 card, so it is technically an out to stuff like Dragoon, so they burn their negates. It's an out to a lot of things. It also provides protection. There's other super poly targets, just depending on your matchups, really. You could run another Titaniclad. If it was up to me, I just don't have them on me. They're probably more bulk somewhere. I would add another Albion the branded, and then I would add a probably just like a Verite Anaconda. So Albion, another one of these, Verite Anaconda or Dingirsu. Honestly, just pick your poison. All of them pretty crazy. But that is it for this one. Let us know in the comments if you like the deck profile, like the video if you like the video. Let us know what you would change. Also, if I get enough if I get enough comments on this, if enough people ask for it, enough people like the video, I'll drop the Dogmatica Shaddoll version for you guys, even though I feel like it could possibly be hit by the ban list. But let me know if that's something you want to see, and I'll see you guys next time.